Hey there, today we're doing a review of this guy, the Sympl Commuter Sling 2.5 liter. Here at Nomads Nation, we have been reviewing the world's best travel and EDC gear for the past 7 years. And in this video, I'm gonna break this sling down. We're gonna pack it out, double check its advertised capacity. I'm gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons and overall scores. And you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because if you're not quite feeling the Sympl Commuter Sling, I'll show you 2 alternative recommendations that are gonna be similar to this sling, but also offer some key differences so you can find the best sling for your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the Sympl Commuter Sling 2.5 liter. Quick brand background. Sympl, started by an Australian duo, now based in Los Angeles. And they're known for making kind of that middle ground of gear between I work and I play. I surf and I also, am a freelance marketer. That's Sympl's sweet spot. And they've been crushing it with their backpacks recently. I'll be honest, I've been a little iffy on their slings and their smaller bags. Sometimes they hit it for me, sometimes they don't. Let me show you some of the top features of this sling. Got a very nice circular shape, quick access pocket in the front, main compartment with a bit of organization, and dual gussets. That's these bad boys right here. Hidden, zippered back pocket, and a feature-heavy harness system that does not detach, but it does have a super satisfying Fidlock V-buckle. Sympl claims this sling is 2.5 liters. Let's double check that. Let's check the dimensions real fast. Got a width of 10 inches, a height of 6 inches, and a fully packed out depth of 3.5 inches. For the volume, we didn't fill the front pocket because there's a little bit of volume in there, but not much. The main compartment will tell the whole story, or most of the story. Let's transfer to our smaller measuring device. That's better. So you can see the main compartment where that black dot is coming in at 1 liter, which if you add the front, you might get to 1.5, but this confirms my suspicions that this is definitely closer to 1 or 1.5 liters in capacity than it is to 2.5 liters. The Commuter Sling currently comes in 1 color option, but 2 fabrics. This is the X-Pac, and I'll break down the different fabric options in the next chapter, so you know the pros and cons of both. This is the sling when it's empty, and here it is fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. I'm 5'8", and Jason Bagmoa is 6'2". All Sympl products are covered by their lifetime warranty against manufacturing defects, and the sling runs around 100 to 120 USD depending on which fabric you get. Now we're gonna use that price point as our North Star moving forward to determine if this sling is worth it or if it's not, but it should be noted if at any point during this review you're thinking about making a purchase, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the outside of the Sympl Commuter Sling. I like the circle shape. It's timeless. It's kind of adorable. And I also like the material selection, of which you have 2 options. The one that we are reviewing is VX21. Now, VX21 is made from a company called Dimension Polyant, and they make sails for sailboats. And then one day, like 30 years ago, someone was like, dude, that's sailboat fabric. I'm gonna make a bag out of it. And it's a whole revolution. And now X-Pac is an enormous and very popular fabric on modern backpacks. It's great because it's weather resistant, and it's great because, as you could imagine, to be the cloth of a sailboat, it's gotta be very durable and extremely weather resistant. Other option you got is polycarbonate. I don't have the sling in that option, but I do have a Sympl backpack. And you can see it's not too far off. I mean, both are kind of like very modern, shiny fabrics. The polycarbonate though is actually a nylon with a polycarbonate finish, and it's gonna be equally as weather resistant. You can see right here, water's just gonna right off. I think for most people, the extra cost of X-Pac is probably not worth it because they, in essence, do the same thing. I think you probably wanna look at the X-Pac version if you just like really technical fabrics, or if you're just a big fan of the subtle X-Pac grid that you can see sheening in the light. Otherwise though, I think for most people, the polycarbonate will be just fine. Sympl's branding, nice and subtle, has been subdued over the years, and thank God. Sympl is a brand that really listens to community feedback. Their branding used to look like this. This is significantly better. Thank you for listening, Sympl. Now we're gonna talk about the 1, 2, 3 pockets in the next section, but before we do, let's talk about this harness system, because there's things I like about it and things that I don't. The actual nylon webbing that's being used is very coarse, which has pros and cons. First of all, let's measure this nylon webbing shoulder strap. You can see at its longest, you're at about 39 inches, and at its shortest, you're around 22 inches. Should be noted if you have a wider chest that it's not a very long strap. So for a lot of people, you know, some of these slings can go up to like 50+ inches, so do keep that in mind. But back to the nylon webbing, it's a little coarse for me. Almost on the cheap side, I'd say. It's not that it's cheap, because I know Sympl wouldn't skimp like that, but you know, a lot of times we'll see this kind of nylon webbing on a sling. And this is a lot silkier. You can see just how it glistens in our studio light. But there's pros and cons. While I think a fabric like this is more silky and smooth and luxurious and less coarse, a fabric like this actually has got a little bit of grip to it. And with a sling, that's actually quite nice because this is a real crossbody. We'll talk about that a bit more in a second. But even then, gravity still wants to bring it down here. It's just the way these things work. So a little bit of coarseness on the strap helps to keep the sling better in place. So pros and cons there. Now, a few other notes on the shoulder strap. Non-detachable. This is gonna be a deal breaker for a lot of people because a lot of us out there like our sling to be able to double up as a tech pouch, which means that, let's say you're taking a flight with this thing, right? You can unclip the shoulder straps, pop it in here along with your chargers and wires and cables, put it in your bag, and then it's tech pouch. Then when you get to your destination, you take it out, you pop the clips back on, and boom, you got your day bag. No such option here. Personally, I'm not too crazy about these wings here. They're connected to the nylon webbing, and sometimes you can just feel them when you're wearing it. There's a little bit of buildup of fabric here. It's a little thick. Never in a way that's painful, but just in a way that's sometimes noticeable. And let's talk about another thing that's gonna be controversial, the inclusion of a Fidlock buckle. Back in the day, every bag and sling had this V-buckle on it, but they're kind of big and bulky. So a lot of bag companies are moving away from it, but Sympl's keeping it classy. I appreciate that. Fidlock makes the best magnetic buckles in the world. It is so satisfying to use, easy to take off, finds its way and snaps on. It's a very, very strong connection. And I actually really like the design that Sympl has implemented here with these rivets on the top and the bottom. I just think it looks smart. Moving on, let's talk about the inside of the Sympl Commuter Sling 2.5 liter. Please keep in mind that a small sling like this is just meant for your smaller bits of gear. It's not gonna work for your water bottle. It's just meant to keep you organized for the smaller stuff. In the front pocket, we've got a little Chode-y key leash. It's sewn into the bag, no magnetic removal, but you do have this hardware so you can unclip your keys. Remember, there is a wee little bit of volume in this front pocket as well. Could be a good spot for the things you want the fastest access to, tissues, battery. PU-coated zippers, not my favorite, but also quite common on an X-Pac version of a bag because again, the X-Pac fabric is so weather resistant. And these PU-coated zippers, that plastic finish right there, also extremely weather resistant. But do keep in mind, PU-coated zippers can end up looking like this over the months or years, depending on how much exposure to humidity and sunlight and usage they get. And they also make the zipper just stickier, harder to open and to close. And this pocket in general is not my favorite because it's quite difficult to access. You can see we've got the garage right there, which is nice because it does help with additional weather resistance. But you're losing out on, you know, an inch or so of potential zipper movement, which just makes it really tight and really small. We only have about 5+ inches now of zipper real estate, which is not a big runway. With the sticky zipper, it makes it a little bit harder. And you know, I got small hands, but you can see even I'm struggling to get in there. So this pocket, you know, I like the volume and the extra space that it gives you, but it's just a little bit difficult to access. Main compartment. Again, PU-coated zippers, don't love that. YKK though, do love that. And here we have a bit of Sympl's signature organization, which has always been a little ironic to me. Sympl loves pockets, but their name is Sympl. Just a little ironic to me. The gusset opening helps keep everything nice and organized without your sling sort of falling over into itself. Big fan of that. I'm gonna throw my passport-sized notebook in the front zippered pocket. Pens we can put in the bottom. Some bulkier bits of gear can fit, some won't. Let's take your typical travel adapter. That will fit barely, but it will close. Wired headphones in these pockets. These pockets are using a beautiful Darlington mesh. And then we got a sleeve in the back that connects via magnet. Will this fit my Kindle? It will. Very nice. So a small Kindle can fit, but then that will compromise the ability to close the bulkier things, right? Because now we have this very, very hard Kindle there. And now with this, it's not gonna close. You can see, same situation with the glasses. Ooh, with the glasses, we might be able to actually close that. Feels a little iffy though. How about a packable tote? Just trying to give you an idea of like what this thing looks like when it's fully packed out. Packable tote, yeah, that'll make the cut just barely. So again, our measuring test put this at 1.5 liters capacity max. So again, smaller things, that's what it's made for. Back access pocket, ideal for your wallet. Love this on a sling. God, this thing just feels tight though. Don't know why. I understand that it's small, but it feels tighter in its construction and design than your typical sling does. But a back pocket like this is great because it's flush against your body, so it's nice and protected. Great spot for your wallet, boarding pass, or passport. That's the sling. You can see we really pushed it to its max. Got a lot of stuff in there. Just give it a little bit of room to breathe so we can give it a fair review overall. Again, the sling just feels a little on the tighter side, but definitely keeps a very nice shape. It's got a really nice look to it for sure. Now real fast, before we jump into the next section, I gotta let you know that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do reviews on our YouTube channel of gear, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And we got over 10,000 people subscribed to that newsletter because it's a one-of-a-kind service or product or email or blah, whatever you want to call it. And I'm really proud of it because we put so much time and effort into it of showing you what's happening in the trifecta, the world of carry meets travel meets gear. And in that newsletter, we deliver it to your inbox a couple times a month, let you know the newest drops, limited edition releases, industry trends, and everything in between. It's like we're your reporters in the field telling you what you gotta know about this incredible industry. So if you wanna keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the overall pros and cons of the Sympl Commuter Sling 2.5 liter. Pro number one, in my opinion, it's got a lovely shape. It just looks nice. Pro number two is going to be the impressive weather resistance. X-Pac plus PU coated zippers equals, this is gonna be pretty secure in a mild to moderate rainstorm, 10 to 15 minutes. And pro number three, nice job getting a sneaky amount of volume in that front pocket. But on the flip side, all bags have cons. Here are mine. Even though that front pocket has a sneaky amount of volume, it's tough to access. Con number two, for many peeps out there, will be the fact that you cannot remove the harness system. And con number three, another missing feature, there's no top and or back handle. Again, a potential deal breaker for a lot of people out there. All right, so these overall pros and cons, mash them together and give you my overall scores. Should be noted, these scores, they're just personal, guys, just based on my experience using this bag. Score number one for comfort, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's a small bag, so it's never gonna be uncomfortable. It's definitely a crossbody. It's meant to go here or here. And that's just because of the shape and the harness system is not really meant to be worn on its side, which is great. If you're looking for a crossbody, it's extremely comfortable in those positions, minus a couple of caveats. Maybe a little too coarse in the shoulder strap for my ladies out there. If you're wearing like a tank top in summer, you might get a little bit of red shoulder effect. And also with the X-Pac wings that connected to the nylon strap, you just kind of feel them sometimes, never when it's painful, but just kind of noticeable. For comfort, I'll give this sling a 3.5 out of 5. For value, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I think at 100 to 120 USD, it's pretty middle of the road. You're gonna have slings on the lower end from Bellroy and Alpaka that are really high quality, but then you're gonna have slings on the higher end as well. So overall, it's a solid value proposition. And for my overall score, I'm gonna give this sling a 3 out of 5. I think it looks nice, it wears nice, and it can feel nice. Just not a perfect score because of some access issues and just some functional quirks when I was wearing it. But overall, definitely a solid sling. And if you agree and you're thinking about picking one of these up, just a reminder, we do request doing so with the first link in the description, because again, those links make sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's where you'll find them. But if you're not quite sold on the Sympl Commuter Sling, I teased alternatives earlier. Let's talk about them. First up, if you are new to Nomads Nation, you should definitely check out our leaderboard ranking video. In this video, myself and the Nomads Nation squad, we get together and we pick our favorite bags in different bag categories. It's the best way for you to get an idea of what the best options are on the market, and then I've gone ahead and linked that above. Also, if you don't know, here at Nomads Nation, after reviewing hundreds of the world's best bags, we actually started our own brand gear ourselves. That brand's called Firo, and Firo's on a mission to equip modern professionals with gear that keeps them streamlined and focused. We've got an everyday carry backpack, we've got a travel backpack, and we've got a sling, 2 sizes. I'm so proud of the gear and the community that we built at Firo. If you want to learn more, you can do so at firo.co or with the second link in the description. But if we're really close with the Commuter Sling, here are 2 options that might get you a little bit closer. My first alternative will be the Alpaka Flight Sling 1 liter. This is a great pick for you if you're looking for an urban-y sling that can do EDC and travel very well, but you want some of those access issues improved. This sling has a lot of padding and uses stiffer materials. Alpaka's sling is a lot more malleable and loosey-goosey, while still being around the same size and giving a really nice presentation and aesthetic. And my second alternative will be the Bellroy Venture Ready Sling 2.5 liter. If you watched this channel before, you might be rolling your eyes. You know it's one of my most highly recommended slings of all time. And it's not too far off from this in terms of the shape, in terms of the functionality. But again, in my opinion, it fixes some of the access issues. bit more malleable, while still looking fresh and clean. Honestly, all three slings are awesome. It's just about you finding which one best suits your needs. And to learn more about the two alternatives, you can do so by watching these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you guys next time.